I wake up in the morning, and the first thing I do is I look to see what's happened overnight, and read the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Miami Herald, see what the Wall Street Journal has, listen to a little bit of Morning Joe as much as I can stand before I turn it to some other channel, and look at a little bit of C-SPAN, see what's going on there, and basically get a feel for what you're doing is you're trawling. You're trying to find out something that brings a reaction where you go, oh, I can't believe that happened, or I can't believe he said that, and you also have to some extent, you have to figure out, well, is the reader going to understand the cartoon without my having to give them a whole bunch of information, which means going into 4 panels. They have to have, it has to be they have to be somewhat familiar with it. And once I settle on it, I start sketching, and I start thinking and free associating, and but for me it ends up being literal. For example, this Sunday, my cartoon is on the Republicans have this nominee, and they can't stand him. And that to me it's hilarious. It's funny for them to be in this situation, and it's something that they can't get out of. They don't know how to get out of it. And so to me, the jump from that to having Donald Trump frowning, and next to him an elephant with a T-shirt that says "I'm not with stupid," the arrow pointing to Donald Trump, is that's the kind of thing that'll pop into your head immediately. And usually it is the first one that you think of. Literally, I used to play a game with my editor. I would sometimes, in the old days, give him about 6, 7, 8 sketches in one day. And I would take the first one that I thought of that I really liked, and I would put it in the middle of the pack, so that he thinks that the top one is the one that I like. But I would hide it in the middle of the pack or put it at the bottom of the pack, and he would pick it out every single day. He just knew. And there's an immediacy to it, there's a simplicity to it, and that's the one that we end up going with. And as soon as I know that, what we're going to do, and by the way, that's not the thing with my editors. The arrangement is it's not dictatorial. They don't say you have to do this. If I don't think that's the best one of the 4. Then I'll write back to them and say, listen, I really like this one a little bit better. But usually they pick out the one that I'm interested in drawing, and then we just then you just start drawing. You pull out a paper, put a box, and pencil sketch, and get the composition straightened away, and then you start going in with pen and ink, and correcting mistakes, and then more pen and ink, and then correcting mistakes, and eventually try to have it done by 4 o'clock. And then after that, about a half hour is disseminating the cartoon. This is not fun. This is work because it's just mindless. You take it, you scan it into your computer. Then you have to resize it, and this copy goes to the paper. Then another copy goes to a list of friends and family that receive the cartoon every day after I draw it, and then the other one goes to the editorial page for them to put it into the paper. Then my syndicate clients, and et cetera, et cetera. So, and then you have to color it as well, which I do digitally. I do that on Photoshop. But I always do my black and white lines and all that with pen and ink, and always will. I'll never switch to digital with that. I like the feel of the pen tip on the paper, and I don't like plastic on glass, which is what you would do if you were to draw it on a tablet. It doesn't feel quite right to me. And once those are all, then you put it on Facebook, and then you put it on Twitter, and then you put it on Instagram, and and so then you're finished with it, and you go, and then take the dog for a walk.